I think when you look around, you can definitely see that it can be run down in some areas, but like growing up around Belfast and coming up to Belfast for uni, like you've been able to see a lot of change in the last few years. A lot of areas looking a lot more modern, and it's really nice to see. There's a great nightlife, there's a great social atmosphere. I think the people have come a long way as well, so it's a lot more friendly and a lot more like it's a place you want to go.
Been living here in Belfast for about say 13, 12, 13 years, and it's best place. I'm trying to leave, but when I think about leaving or moving somewhere else, I just like think, okay, how I'm gonna live far from Belfast. So Belfast is the best place, I think.
I think after, oh, if it was Brexit or if it was just not having a government, it seems to kind of gone downhill the past few years. You don't come downtown as much anymore because the closed shops and transportation, joining buses, finding taxis. If you come down here, there's more crime than there used to be. And yeah, just kind of stay to our own neighborhoods, I guess.
I've never felt unsafe here. I mean, I'm come from Nottingham, and I wouldn't like being out there at night. Past 11 o'clock, it just doesn't feel safe. But here, all hours in the morning, I've never felt uncomfortable. Even though Belfast does have that reputation somewhat of being, with sectarianism, but I've never felt any effects of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't really walk around in the city after dark. I did some homeless outreach a couple of years ago, and yeah, the city centre is unfortunately pretty bad. But some tourists that I've talked to like the grittier side of Belfast. They say they've compared it to New York for its realness, so that's kind of nice.
There's nothing handier than like the glider. Like the glider is very handy. If they opened up the glider to like I'd say a broader spectrum in Belfast, then it could be a lot handier. But definitely I'd say like more public transport at night time, because even like I was there in London a couple of years ago, and like there's nothing handier than just like hopping on the tube and like next minute you're just there. So yeah, it would definitely be a big improvement.
Obviously for me, Belfast is home, but in terms of if I wasn't from Belfast, it's the people. The people are what make Belfast. It's so friendly. You're around, you feel safe. I could be on a night out and walking home and I don't feel as unsafe as I would in some other countries whenever I go visit. And that's not to do with knowing your way around, because I get lost in Belfast all the time.
People are very friendly, and when I'm saying friendly, they are very supportive. And there's many things to talk about people in Belfast, like diversity now. Like if you think about 10 years ago, it wasn't that diverse place to live, but now it's more diverse.
Vancouver has its own problems. There's a lot of crime, there's a lot of drugs, but the city kind of concentrates on creating areas that, in helping drug addicts, and but in also making sure that there's areas where people can go that are safe. They have transport, transit and out, there are taxis, so obviously it's a much bigger city, but yeah, they kind of concentrate more on the city as opposed to fighting amongst themselves.
I feel like the best thing about Belfast is how close it is to places of beauty around Belfast. You're not any time too far away from forests or lovely walks or something like that. But I think that the city could do with a lot of like funding and regeneration to make the city centre a more welcoming place, especially after dark.